Hello, my name's Morgan and welcome to my channel. For my first video, I'm going to be answering questions from the Booktube Newbie Tag. So let's jump into those questions. The first question is, why did you start this channel? Well, I wanted to talk about books and I wanted to join the bookish community. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Well, I had a huge reading gap between 2011 to 2020. And I wasn't an avid reader before that, so I'll be reading a lot of older releases. So if you're interested in watching someone read your old favorites for the first time, that's kind of where I'm at. But I'll sprinkle in some new releases and we'll see what other creative ideas I come up with as I go. What are you most excited for about this new channel? Like expanding my reading, getting creative with my reading, as well as getting creative with, video content, video concepts, actually shooting it, editing it, all those things as well. But also just connecting with the book community and connecting with everyone. That would probably be something I'm really excited for because it's, I want to find people to talk about books with. And then kind of learning those new skills, like I mentioned. I've already dived into a little bit of Procreate. I do have an Instagram, so that I've been having fun kind of contributing to the Bookstagram community. So just kind of learning new skills in that general area. What book or series got you into reading? Well, as a child, some of the highlights were Funny Bunny, The Hungry Caterpillar, I Love You This Much, A Moose and a Cookie, I think, or it's the book with the moose, the mouse, and the cookie. Elmer the elephant, and I think Rainbow Fish, the fish with the like rainbow scales, and then it teaches children to share. That one, that was a really good one. In middle school, I was really into Cat Warriors by Erin Hunter. I think that's the pen name. But I really loved those. I read all of those, or at least the ones that were out at that time. And then that's where I got my introduction into manga. I was in middle school, so that's where I hit my my holy trinity of manga during that time, which was Naruto, Fruits Basket, and Inuyasha. Really into those. I watched the anime and read the manga. In high school, I had my romance era, so that's all I read was contemporary romance. A lot of Nicholas Sparks, Kristen Hannon, loved those. And then after my huge 10-year gap during the pandemic, Armageddon's Children by Terry Brooks really just got me, and now I just can't stop reading ever since. So yeah, those are the books that got me into reading. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Well, let's do some shout outs first. If I don't list a channel, it's not that I don't watch them. It's just if I list every channel I watched, we would be here for hours. So just to name a few, Carrie Can Read, Rumi's Digest, How to Train Your Gavin, The Book Leo, Lauren and the Books, Allie with Books, Monica Kim, A Frolic Through Fiction, Books and Lala, Elias, Jake Edwards, A Sunny Book Nook, Book and Betches. I feel like I have to really whisper that one. And then Ariel Bassett. Those are just to name a few. But shout out to all those channels. Love watching all of their videos. I guess the questions I would ask is, do you feel the pressure to read large volumes of books in order to churn out content? And then how do you manage that pressure if you do feel that pressure? And then what do you like about Booktube? What do you not like about Booktube? Did Booktube kind of help you explore and expand the genres that you read? Or how has it affected your reading? And then I think the best would be, what's the strangest books you've read in order to make content for Booktube? So what are the strangest books you've ever had to read? What challenges do you think starting a Booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think managing the pressure to read a massive amount of books for content I'm a really slow reader. So, I'm a good reading month for me is 5 books that are relatively medium length. But it kind of varies, but I guess just kind of managing that pressure and just kind of reading at my own pace. Um, and then also the influence of content and really popular books kind of dictate what I read, and I kind of just want to read what I really want to read. And if I don't like the book, I just want to DNF it because life is short. And then I guess just listening and watching myself while I edit. It's a little cringeworthy, I'm sure, so we'll see how that goes. When did you start reading? As a child, but kind of my own volition and initiation to read, that kind of started in 2007 when I was in middle school. And then I kind of had a break, picked some books up in high school, and then like I had this huge gap because college, but also just finding the time to read was challenging at that time. And then I just became a pandemic reader. Once 2020 hit, I had all this free time. I just started consuming large volumes of books, and I can't stop. Where do you read? Anywhere comfortable. But in reality, a lot of it's audiobooks, just like during my morning routines, walking the dog, and also just chores. It just makes it easier to balance responsibility and reading. But I do squeeze in at the bare minimum 30 minutes of reading physical or ebook at night. So I guess in my bed, on the couch, or in my reading chair. What kind of books do you like to read? Okay, let's go basic. Fiction, nonfiction. I typically read more fiction. I'm trying to read more nonfiction. I don't know if this counts. Does poetry count as nonfiction? But I have been reading more poetry, so if that fits into nonfiction, I have been doing that. I like both plot and character driven. It just really depends on the execution. And then, according to the Ye Old Storygraph, which Storygraph is not that old, but I like medium to fast-paced books that are 300 to 499 pages. It ebbs and flows, right? I think I tend to read all 3 types of paces, like slow, medium, and fast pace. It just depends. And then typically I do like those longer books. It just really depends. I mean, recently this year, I've been just reading a lot of, graphic novels and manga. So those are short and fast paced. That's obviously going to tip my stats in that direction. General genres, I would say fantasy, dystopian, post-apocalyptic, apocalyptic kind of vibe. It's kind of my top tier, really. But then I would say historical fiction, sci-fi, the LGBTQIA plus novels as well. I love the representation. Graphic novels, manga, and comics. Kind of the genre that I go for is all those. I have been trying to expand into genres that I don't typically grab or reach for. That would be kind of like horror. So I'm kind of trying to do like a mystery to lead up to horror, kind of like a gentle ease myself into it. And then also romance, like on its own, I just haven't jumped into so much, but every once in a while I'll pop those in. But just some qualities of books that I really enjoy is just like a strong female lead. Excuse me. A strong female lead, adventure books, and then like a book that follows a family or a group of people over like generations or like a long period of time, or like random people that somehow meet and their stories start to intertwine. So those are some of the qualities I look for in books as well too. But yeah, it looks like those are all of the questions. So I look forward to making more videos, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye.